Good morning, everybody, or whoever happens to show up. This is Pastor Catherine, and I'm here on the farm welcoming you to our second annual virtual Lamb Day. It's about maybe the 18th time we've had Lamb Day here on the farm, but this is the first time second time we've had it virtually. So I got my mask because on this virtual Lamb Day, we actually have two guests with us. I'll introduce them to you in a minute. So I've
And
got.
I'm coming live from the broadcast studios of University Congregational Church, deep in the heart of University District.
We got Steve Derby, Pastor Steve. Welcome and thank you.
Yeah, thanks for hosting everyone. We're getting some greetings in the chat. We see
there's Margaret
saying hi.
Hi. And look who's here with me. It's Benjamin Roon and Pastor Amy Roon. They're here for virtual. They are here for virtual Lamb Day, and they're going to help with stuff. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take you behind the scenes. We're going to take you behind the scenes for the release of the sheep. So we're going to see how this goes. This is an experiment. We haven't done it before, and with the release of the sheep, we get one shot. So we'll see how it goes. Let me take you to the barn door. I'll turn my camera around here. Just a minute.
And I'm going to go off camera so we can see the release.
Thank you.
Full screen.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you for being here. And I'll just say if anything happens to our link, Steve will still be here. So when we release the sheep, you can hear the dogs in the background. They're always interested. You can see the sheep in the barn. They're like, okay, we're ready. And what we hope will happen is that the sheep will go from here out to the field. Now, anyone who's watched very many releases of the sheep know that sometimes they go astray. So we'll do the best we can and we'll follow them as we can. So this is the behind the scenes, and there's Megan Pritchard. She's here to help too. She's got a nice mask on. It's a red University UCC mask.
Had to be the height of fashion.
With a red phone. That's just perfect.
Yeah,
Amy's phone. So Megan is often almost always the one filming the release of the sheep. And then Benjamin and Amy, I'll put you all in position. You can set anything you need to set down. You can set right down there on the car. We're taking our time getting set up. Here we go. But again, welcome everybody to Virtual Lamb Day. We are in the process of planning, taking you behind the scenes for the release of the sheep. So I'm the director. Megan's the videographer, and the stars are Amy and Benjamin Roon with the sheep. So I'm going to invite you all to go to the barn door.
Okay.
And I'll give you some instructions. I'll direct you, and then Megan will film. And then, folks, this video, if it turns out, it's not muddy. It's not only muddy. There's other stuff there too. Because if you come to the farm, you got to deal with poop. And Amy warned him. So what we do is when we get one shot at this, and if it works out well, one way or the other, we'll have highlights of it next Sunday's worship service. So this is the release of the sheep. So Amy and Benjamin, what you're going to do is all you need to do is you lift that gate up, you set it aside, you swing the doors open. Now, I'm going to tell you something about sheep. They are nervous about people they don't know.
Yeah.
So they may balk a little bit at the beginning, but that's okay. Just step back a little bit and they'll come on out. Okay.
Don't go towards them.
They'll
and
balk.
they'll balk.
They might like go, oh, I'm not sure I want to come out.
Like, who's
Are these the dudes or the?
These are the girls, and the lambs will still be inside because they're in their separate little lambing pens. So I'll take you in there after we're done with the release. But right now we're going to film the release. So ready? So what you do is I'll say action. The other thing is I try not to talk. I just I smile. I look lovely.
You don't have to have your
You
mask.
have to school. What? School. What?
You're
Okay. For right now, we're outside. Oh, and in fact, you can take the whole thing off for
however you want to do it. However you want to do it. And so to the door.
Okay.
To the door.
Oh, do we wave first?
Nope. Go stand at the door. And then Megan will say action.
No, I will say 3, 2, 1.
Megan will say 3, 2, 1. Oh, y'all, you're getting the delightful behind the scenes
I know. No,
release of the sheep.
Know that we'll hose your shoes off later.
And
Embrace
those are the Jordans that he's pretty happy with right now, but yeah, it will be muddy. Okay, Megan's going to say 3, 2, 1. Then you smile, look lovely. Not before, no. And then the sheep will come out. Megan will follow them. You can follow them if you want, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Okay, action.
3, 2, 1.
And there you go. Wow, that was fun. There is a behind the scenes. That's what it looks like when we're releasing the sheep. Today they all went in. That was actually quite.
That's a bonus.
That's a bonus. That's always a plus.
And that,
go ahead, Amy.
is that a little one from last year, though? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's like.
Yeah.
I was all excited to follow, and then I thought, well, I can still hear the little ones.
The little ones are still in the barn.
And I want to see the new ones.
So we'll go see the new ones in a minute. But in the meantime, everybody here is all settled. Megan, I think, is going to get some alfalfa for the ewes.
Benjamin, you want to?
And we'll go in the barn. Benjamin, what size shoe do you wear? 10?
Probably about this. What size do you?
I'm thinking I should get you some boots because this farm day is just going to get stickier and stickier, especially if you want to see the babies. Actually, Benjamin, I'm going to send you in a different way into the barn. You go follow Megan.
Yeah, the other thing you could do is tie your shoes.
We've got lots of folks joining us this morning. We got
Yeah, who we got there?
And Benjamin and Gina. Fiona's waving at us.
Let me wave back if I can. I'll try this. Can you see me?
Yeah.
We're about to go in the barn and see the babies. Do we want to let the rams out first? Let's let the rams out. So the other thing we do on the farm in the morning is the rams go under the barn. It's where they're safe. And so you all can come if you want.
Safe from what?
They're safe. They're safe from coyotes and random other predators.
Well, we never get to
So
see this part. Yeah.
we do have to close the gate. But This is the ram pen. This is where the rams spend their time when they're not with the girls. This is their little space.
Saying hi to Rachel and Phoebe and Sam joining us from Tacoma.
Hey, hello, Rachel. Oh, nice to see you, Rachel.
We gotta have Rachel come on up sometime and the fam and come up and do a lamb release.
Yeah, lamb release is available to schedule. So you'll see the boys.
Yeah, we've got a ram and a wether.
They're under the barn. And here they come.
Weather, but not rainy.
Oh, they're big.
Yep.
They chunky.
So there they go.
They're built different.
They're a little nervous because there are strangers in their field, but they're going to find their way to their breakfast. I hope you all had breakfast. What'd you all have for breakfast? Steve, what did people have for breakfast out there? I had an egg and a piece of toast. What did you all have for breakfast, folks?
I got
Anybody else have an egg?
a bakery made Pop-Tart. So
Bake? Wow.
yeah, one of the Sod House Bakery made a nice little Pop-Tart for me.
Nice. Nice.
Deborah
Anybody-
Jarvis had a latte. The Swansons had bacon, egg, and waffles.
Oh, I'm Swansons. So far, you're the winners. Although latte, that's nice.
Emily had a chocolate chip cookie and black coffee.
I forgot to tell you about my black coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amy, what did you have for breakfast?
I had leftover Thai green beans and rice.
There you
and then I
go.
had coffee when I got here.
And coffee when she got here. And Megan, what did you have for breakfast?
Fancy looking breakfast.
I had sauteed greens with asparagus and bell peppers and stuff, and an egg and cheese.
It looked fancy.
This
looked
was my
like-
daily breakfast, and then I had fruit salad with yogurt and walnuts and herbal tea.
Hey, Steve, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
What will happen if I turn this camera to landscape? Will everybody get sideways or will it adjust?
No, I think it'll adjust. I think we'll be good. Oh, we're all going sideways. Oh, there we go. It all worked.
Except for Megan. Okay, we're going to go in the barn now and see the babies, and I'll tell you how the babies spend the night.
Do you want to go? I
If
can hold that and
Benjamin-
you can
Oh,
talk.
yeah, great.
So
Megan's becoming the camera.
Amy.
Amy's, yeah, that's Amy.
I'm just a camera person, so you might hear my voice a little louder, but
It's going to get pretty yucky.
yeah.
So,
Rachel's crew had special waffles and strawberries.
yay.
Gina's house was leftover oatmeal and pancakes.
Nice.
Nice.
Carol had coffee and a nutrition bar. Margaret is being clear that her waffles were not homemade waffles; they were Eggo waffles.
That's right. As long as nobody had lamb, we're good.
So,
Mama is a mountain climber.
Oh, let's go.
yeah, she likes to let us know that she's ready to come out.
Hi. Hi, Mama.
She's actually
Tim had
taught
some
the baby-
fried noodles for breakfast.
Yep.
Hi.
Benjamin likes the dreads.
Hi. Oh, yes. You've learned this as well.
Yep.
Hi.
So that's a little boy, and he's
I will go get him.
Yeah,
You know,
this-
be gentle and let them. But yeah, they're not gonna. You remember that? Yeah. Benjamin here is our sample kid to do what we often do at Lamb Day, which is catch the lambs like puppies. Yeah.
so fluffy. Feel right under his
Yeah.
chin. That's really soft under his chin.
Benjamin, are you here?
Yeah, the softest part of a little lamb is right under the chin. So this guy's a little nervous around people, but the other guy who's needed some extra help is very friendly. So we'll let these two out. Is their food ready?
No, I forgot.
Oh, Do you need a hand? Do you want Benjamin to help get the fruit out? Go help get the food out.
No,
That's where they're going. Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead and open this gate. And they'll come on in. Swing it open. There she goes. She knows what she's
She's
doing.
just like, I'm out of here.
Now,
Yes.
here's the one, Benjamin, that you're actually going to be able to pick up this little guy.
Really?
Because he's very friendly. This is the mom who had twins. Take a look at that, Amy. That's
Yeah.
the girl.
Oh, yeah.
She's getting all the milk. That's the boy. He's the runt. His mama's not real happy with him, so we actually hold her while he nurses. But that's made him a very friendly little lamb. So I'm
Yeah,
going
he
to
sees
open
people
this.
and he's like, it's time to eat.
I'm going to open this gate. They're going to come out, and then Benjamin will pick up the. Well, it helps if I actually unlatch it.
Oh,
Okay, you
yeah.
ready?
All right. We're ready. I think.
Here they come.
Here they go.
And out
Go,
you go.
All right. Out you go, Bee. There's more mud and less poop out here, so you actually don't have. What? So I think what was supposed to happen is instead of them going in where all the alfalfa is kept, and they could eat all day and night. Hi. That's like leaving the refrigerator door open.
Whoa. What you trying to do?
Isn't there
Are we-
something about lost sheep and the 99 and the one who wanders off into the alfalfa patch?
Something like that.
So here's the little baby.
Yeah. Oh.
Here you go, Benjamin. If you
Hi.
Yeah, he's the little one.
Hey,
He's
little guy.
I love him.
he's quite willing to be held.
Well.
Until he's not.
Says,
Yeah.
hi.
Yep.
Oh,
So we'll
all
just
sorts of.
sometimes on Lamb Day we just watch for a little while. So
Yep.
let's just do that now.
Just check them out. And we're actually watching the soundtrack is if you listen really carefully, you can hear them chew. Oh, wow.
That's kind of the main thing that little boy likes to do.
Little sus.
He does it
Yeah.
because of those.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
It's
Oh,
You're getting a
owl
little
moment
nature
here.
show.
Virginia is asking if they have names.
Ooh, do they have names?
They do not. They
Oh.
don't have names that I gave them, although a visitor has given them.
I want to name
Names.
one of them D's.
No,
What? Why not?
thank you.
Why not? Hey, buddy. Buddy.
Pretty. There we go. So what names did they get, Megan? Do you remember?
Little girl was named Princess, and little boy was named Bubbles because the white on his forehead looked like bubbles
Mhm.
to my cousin. And then the other little guy was named Fred.
Fred. Other questions?
Are there any other questions that might be
We
coming
should have
from
brought
you?
a pic.
Oh, we brought a pic so that we can give them little.
little
stylish.
afros, yeah.
See, Emily Cruz, do the ones with the black hair stay black, or do they turn color as they get older?
They actually lighten up.
They do lighten up. I don't know. So
Both of these moms started out quite dark, and if you look at their wool, they're lighter now. And actually, little girls' wool you can already see is starting to get a little bit
Where are you going? Come back.
They do stay dark though.
Yeah, they don't end up with
They-
like white fleece.
They get lighter, but they don't get as light as the white ones. We'll walk over here real quick. You'll see what the weather. That's the weather, right?
Yep.
That's the white one.
And the
That's an example of a non-lightened. It's actually on the left. The ram was, I'm assuming, was a black sheep, and the weather was a white, and that's what they.
so this guy right here is the daddy. He's going to hide from me. He was as black as that little one that you saw earlier when he was born, and the first year he was here, very, very black. With this particular breed, every year they get a little bit lighter. So sometimes you can tell their age just by looking at how light they are. But their legs and their noses will stay black, and their wool will be, when you shear them, their wool will be a lovely brown. The first year you shear a little black lamb, that'll be the darkest clip that you get from that little lamb, and it really is quite lovely. The white ones, the cream colored ones, when you shear this, it's actually quite beautiful and quite white. The boys don't get as much human contact as the girls, so they're always a little more skittish.
Got it. Now, and is the ram or the wether, were they born here on the farm, or did you?
Oh, that's a good question. This guy was born in Oregon. His name is Snowball, by the way, for people who've asked about names.
Snowball, the black sheep.
Snowball, the black sheep. And the white wether was also born here on the farm.
Well, you said the black one was born in Oregon.
This black one was born at a farm down in Oregon.
Okay.
Ruth Ann Duncan, who sold me my first Romney sheep. She had this beautiful young 6-month-old ram lamb, and I needed some fresh genetics in my flock, so I brought him up here in a dog crate. It was so cute. He was so sweet, and I brought his half sister as well, who's out in the field.
Got it. And that's just because otherwise, even though you have lambs each year, they wouldn't be healthy if they were all brothers and sisters and cousins.
Right.
And the wether was born here.
The wether was born here.
And did you keep him because I'll ask that question in a second, Rachel. Did you keep him for company with the?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sheep, even boy sheep, don't like to be alone. They're flock animals, and they like to have company. So,
where 2 or 3 are gathered, and we're
exactly.
told, don't do this thing alone. Sam would like to know why the sheep sound different from the lambs.
Oh, that is a good question. Let's go look at the lambs again.
Some of them have gone into the barn.
Did they go back in the barn?
Oh, and there's some over by where Benjamin is. How many? You got 2 over there or 1? Okay. Oh, but the one in the barn is making a little bit of noise.
Fred's looking for his mom.
They're playing Marco Polo. His mom.
So the lamb voices, that's how they call their mama. And it's so sweet when lambs are born. They start calling their mama. They make a sweet little sound. And
just like that.
Their mama will answer back with her mama voice because she's older. And all of us get deeper voices when we get older.
Which I could also tell you about as a former voice major.
There you go.
So as your vocal cords get older, they thicken and lengthen just like the rest of our bodies. And that allows and our chests get larger, and therefore your whole resonance gets deeper and louder. Lillian says, I imagine you've already explained what weather means, but I missed it if you did.
So a wether is a boy sheep that no longer reproduces baby sheep. So we castrate the boys. It makes them able to keep company with the other rams, but I'll know which ram is the daddy and which one isn't. So usually with little boy lambs, it's a good idea if you're going to keep them on the farm and you're not going to use them to breed, then you weather them, and that's what the word is. It's like maybe you've heard of horses called geldings. It's the same idea.
And it's WETHER, right?
Oh, here's a question I would never have thought to ask. Maria Riss asks, can you tell the age of a sheep by how many teeth they have?
Yes.
Apparently you can, but can I just say, as someone who has never thought to either ask that question, I've also never thought to try to count a sheep's teeth. So there's that too.
There are a number of ways you can tell a sheep's age, but one of the surest ways is by the number of teeth they have. And you usually find that out. If you don't know, you also put tags in their ears to keep track of them. My sheep don't have tags in their ears, but whenever they're sheared, my shearer certainly knows which ones are the older ones because they have less teeth. Now, of course, what less teeth is going to mean is also less food in them, so they get skinnier. They get a little scrawny looking as they get older.
Yeah.
Good questions.
Awesome.
Good question.
Well,
So this little guy is by himself right now, but he's right there with his mama. He's 3 weeks old. The other two are 4 weeks old, but as you can see, since he is the only one nursing on his mama, he's growing fast. He's already caught up with little boy who doesn't get as much food because his mama is not as generous with him. It's tough sometimes.
You know, that actually fits the Mother's Day that I just talked about. The Mother's Day is about how we all care for all the children of the world. And because we know that relationships between mothers and their actual offspring is complicated and sometimes doesn't have anything to do with mothering. It has to do with how we're cared for in other ways. So Margaret is asking, wait, is this like a tooth a year? Is it a range?
It's a range. It's a range. And the other thing about sheep is their teeth are on their bottom jaw. Sheep don't bite. Sheep will not bite me. I remember once one of our former pastors, Peter Ilgenfritz, came out to the farm and he was helping me with a little lamb and he was scared to touch it because he thought it was going to bite him. And I said, Peter, sheep don't bite people. They don't. And even if they did, it wouldn't hurt very much because their teeth are not the teeth of animals that eat meat. Their teeth are the teeth of animals that eat grass.
Got it.
So they're not as sharp.
And let's see. So do lambs have baby teeth and then adult teeth later?
These lambs have no teeth.
No teeth. So they're just gumming it and trying to get milk.
Gumming it for milk. When their teeth grow in, they will be the teeth they keep all their life. They're going on an expedition. Oh, these others are going on an expedition?
Oh, yeah. So Nadine is asking, why are the rams separate from the from ewes in the barn? Is that year round?
So the rams are separate from the ewes for about 10 months a year. That's so I only have babies in the spring and I know when they're coming. And the rams and the ewes are perfectly happy to live apart. And then in September or October, I'll pick out the ewes that are going to have babies, and those will go live with the ram for about 5-6 weeks, maybe 2 months, maybe a little longer. And then 5 months later, there'll be baby lambs.
And about what? I think 4 months later, you shear them, and then you find out which ones are looking like something happened.
Yep.
I have another question, but then what was I asking? The last question that's right here. Catherine, are you feeding the litless lamb extra milk? How do you care for the babies who can't get as much milk from their mama.
So I'll just stand here and answer that question.
Yep. Well, we're
And
going to.
you can keep that lamb in the picture. I'm not the other
There's
one.
the other one is calling for her mama.
Or maybe, yeah.
She's trying to
Playing
figure
Marco
out.
Polo with Fred.
And there comes her mom. Like, did you call me? I'm right here.
They'll figure it out. And meanwhile, this guy, it'll show you why this guy's getting a lot more used to humans.
So the question is, do I feed him extra milk? And the answer is no, I don't, because if I started feeding him, he would bond to me. He's already bonded a little bit to me because he knows when I show up, his mama is going to give him milk. And so I really want to keep him with that sheep bond, not with a human bond, if I can help it. It does mean he'll be a little smaller for a little while, but he'll catch up. And I just make sure he's getting all he needs. If he wasn't getting all he needed, then I definitely would feed him extra. But right now I'm hoping he'll stay a sheep.
And let's see, we have a question from Nadine, and then I also have a question that you just is how do you decide which ewes to put in with the ram, and which ones do you just say?
Excellent question.
And then Nadine wanted to know what informed your decision on what kind of sheep you would have.
You all are asking great questions. So first of all, I'll just answer the second question first really quickly. These are Romney sheep. They're from England. Their primary purpose is to grow wool. That's why they're so beautiful and fluffy and soft. And that's where all their energy goes. That's why they grow pretty slow, because their bodies are made to produce wool. And it's a wool that people like to use to spin. There are people in our congregation and other people who've used the wool to spin things. And it's a real nice feel of the wool. And also Romney sheep are from a part of England where the weather is very much like the Pacific Northwest. So they adapt really well to wet ground. They don't get sick the way other sheep who are in more dry conditions might get if they came to the Pacific Northwest. So that's why I have Romney sheep. I wanted wool sheep. And these guys, and they're good, and they tend to be really gentle, pleasantly tempered, good moms for the most part. I'm kind of mad at the mom who's not feeding her baby, but she's feeding one really good, you can see. That the way I choose which ones will have babies is I look at the ones that look the healthiest, and the younger ones, once they've had 3 or 4 lambs, I let them retire, or 3 or 4 lambing seasons. We'll just follow this guy around. You can see we got a lot to explore on.
And Strider's up.
And there's Strider's too. So let's visit the horse for a minute.
Yep, we have a horse that we'll see come in view in just a second. That was was not camera ready earlier. He was laying down, taking a nap, which you don't usually get to see very often. But hello, Strider.
Oh, look, the lamb meets the horse.
Rachel has tons of questions about the sheep. Do you do anything with the wool yourself, or do you sell it to someone else to process?
So I don't do anything with it myself. I do give it or sell it. I've sold some of it. I've given away some of it. There are folks in this congregation who have processed this wool. Sometimes I'll send it off to be processed and then give it away processed.
Is this on?
So there's all kinds of things to do with the wool.
I would not do
Benjamin's going to find out if the electric fence is on, and then we'll all find out, because
that. I don't know if
it won't kill him.
Okay, great.
He'll just learn his lesson, or he won't. It's not on. If you touched it, did he touch it?
Yeah, he touched it.
It's not on. If you touched it and it didn't knock you down, it's not on.
Knock me down.
Well,
it'll just give you a shock.
it would push you back.
Hello, Strider.
There's Strider.
I love this.
I love the horsey. Hi. Hello. Bleh.
Hello. The baby's meeting the horse. Look at that.
So, Benjamin, this horse has a sweet tooth. Have you ever fed him candy?
I think once.
Okay.
I don't know,
Want me to
candy.
Give you some candy to feed him?
Yes.
You fed him carrots, but
No, I fed him
Jelly
those
beans?
like the like mint little swirly things, like the little mint ball candy cane licking things.
oh, mints. They're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
peppermints with
I
those
fed him
red
a
and white
couple
swirl.
Can y'all hear the lamb? Here
You
he
making
is.
yourself
He's right
known?
here at our feet.
So this one's gonna be a preacher. He's gonna practice. Benjamin is brave. Well, Benjamin actually has known this horse
What?
over many of the years.
I'm
So,
not brave.
oh, I don't know, probably
Well,
brave or
touching-
reckless.
I like horses.
Touching an electric fence is a pretty brave thing.
Yeah, well,
Or
his mother may interpret that differently.
other questions?
Oh, wow, that's crunchy.
It is crunchy.
He's a
How did
crunchy
you
boy.
discover this?
His owner Lori discovered it when she and her daughters were here, and a daughter had some candy in her pocket, and Strider kept reaching for her pocket.
I want to ride the horse.
I have. Oh, B. Okay. Don't tease him.
So, other questions?
I don't know. I don't know how many. I can't see how many folks are on here.
How's it going, Steve? How are you
Everybody's-
doing there in Seattle headquarters central?
I want to give him.
Oh, you're on mute, I think. I don't know. We can't hear you.
Oh yeah, things are going well. Watching the stream come through. I'm not sure I can see any comments in one of the Facebook groups.
Oh, don't wipe that on me.
So
Just, go wash off somewhere. Sorry.
Okay, well, if we're missing comments, we apologize.
does this horse go out for rides?
This horse is an older guy. He was ridden when he was younger, but he doesn't go out for rides anymore. He's a retiree,
He's very gentle.
and he's also quite gentle. And as you can see, the baby lamb is just right here hanging out with him. So there you go.
His owner Lori got on him to ride him, I don't know, like last year or something, and he hadn't been ridden in so long that he just sort of turned around and looked at her like, "What are we doing?"
Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
What do you think this is for?
Yeah. So we'll just enjoy this scene a little bit. That's the nice thing about Lamb Day. You can just hang out.
I don't have anything for you. I'm just petting you. You're just gonna lick me? That is kind of scary. No. Okay.
You might notice that the little baby is nibbling grass. Lambs start doing that real early on.
See, wipe my hand off on the lamb.
And
this is also a wool rag.
it's a little wool rag, yeah.
Can I hold you for a minute?
And part of what they're doing is imitating their moms. And they're also getting their digestive system ready. Oh, that's a beautiful picture with the horse in the background and Amy holding the lamb. They're getting their digestive systems ready for when they'll actually be able to get nutrition from grass at about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. So this little guy has about 2 more weeks to go before he can actually start munching stuff and getting nutrition from the grass instead of from his mom. But right now, everything that his body can use and that his stomach can process still comes from his mom.
Catherine,
For the horse.
I know.
I know you grew up in Pasadena.
I grew up in Long Beach, but
Or
my
in
folks
Long
had
Beach.
a
Yeah.
restaurant in Pasadena. So there's a commute.
Not a lot of sheep farms there. How did you end up being a shepherd?
Oh, that's a good question. So I'm going to take you to see the dogs, because always on Lamb Day we meet the dogs, and the dogs are over here. Because the what thing I'll tell you is my dogs talked me into getting sheep. I actually always loved sheep. When I was a little kid, we would go to the Pomona County Fair, which is a big Southern California fair. And I wouldn't go on the rides, I'd go to the animals. And I would go to the sheep. There's just something about them I always loved. And then when I got a border collie, the border collie said, wouldn't having sheep be a good idea? So I learned how to work the border collie down in Northern California, where I served a church in San Jose, and we'd go down to the Gilroy, Morgan Hill area, where an old guy with sheep taught me and my dog how to work sheep. This is not a border collie, by the way.
This is Jocko.
This is Jocko the Maremma. He's a guardian dog, but I'll let you meet my border collies too. Come on out, Jocko.
Jocko.
Jocko keeps the flock safe from the coyotes. He's hanging out here. And the dogs, the border collies, there's Mac, there's Annie, there's Benjamin.
Lefty.
Lefty's already out.
When? What?
So the border collies are the ones who talked me into getting sheep, because that's what they do. Their breed is the breed to take care of sheep. Lefty's got a supervising cone on. Lefty, come here, because he's got a sore on his leg that he's tending to lick. I'm going to try to take the cone off if I can get him to stand still for a minute. He's watching he's watching the lamb right now. He's got his eye on the lamb.
Sam is asking, how long does sheep live?
Sheep can live up 10, 11, even 12 years. Here's what Lefty was watching. He was watching that lamb. So is Annie. In captivity, if you take good care of them, wild sheep live a little less long because they've got more predators and stuff. There you can see Annie eyeing the little lamb. She says, I could move you. And Lefty's eyeing the lamb as well. And Mac is not quite as focused. He's my old guy. But Annie and Lefty both are very interested in that lamb.
Frederick asks, where are the other dogs? But I think they're all out now, right?
They're all out. There's Annie. She's my middle border collie. Lefty is the youngest. He's right here. And Mac is over here. He's the old guy. And then, like I said, Jocko is the guardian dog. He keeps the coyotes away. He makes sure that everybody's safe. He's not a guard dog. He doesn't attack people or anything like that. He barks, and the coyotes say, oh, there's a big dog there. We will stay away.
Anne-Marie's got a couple of questions.
Okay.
So do you use the border collies to work your sheep?
I use Lefty to put the sheep in the barn. Mac is a rescue dog, and he just has never learned to work sheep. And Annie is a little too intense. You can kind of see it right there. So Lefty's my go-to dog for moving sheep. But yes, I could use any of them. It's just some of them are easier to use than others. Ooh, I see a question. Are sheep vulnerable to COVID? I don't know if we know that yet. I don't know if we know the answer to that. So, sorry. I know I've heard that dogs can get it. The COVID on this island has been pretty low incidence here on the island. but we're still doing what we need to do to take precautions.
Mary asks if the lamb's diet affects the quality of the wool.
I'm certain that it does. Oh, I love the way the dogs are watching this little lamb. let me get them out of here so the lamb doesn't get surrounded. Hold on.
For folks that are just tuning in, welcome to our virtual Lamb Day out at Pastor Catherine's farm. We've seen the lambs and the ewe and the ram and meeting the dogs. If you've got questions, you can pop them into the chat and then we'll bring them to you. I'm broadcasting live from University Congregational Studios. Not really, just in my office at home. And so our question was about the quality of wool based on what folks eat. And Catherine, you've got to come off mute.
Yeah, you're right. I was calling to my dogs. Thanks for that. And my battery's running low, so I got to go hook up to some power as well. So the quality of the wool is affected by what they eat, especially if they're out in the wild and foraging. You can tell if it's been a drought year. Here on the farm, they always eat well, so we get good wool. But the older they get also, sometimes the more raggedy their wool is. I've got a ewe out here who, she's definitely a pensioner. She's not giving wool and she's not giving lambs. She's just burning hay, as we say. But she's earned her keep, so we'll keep her around. Yep.
And do the sheep, Megan's wondering, do the sheep like to roll and play in the water?
No, sheep aren't real fans of water. They'll come up to it and drink it. You know, the 23rd Psalm says, "You lead me beside still waters." That's sheep's favorite water. If it's still, if it's quiet, that's where they can just relax and drink all they want. If the water's moving, you know, when I'm filling the water tank, they don't like it. They like still water. They like green pastures. In fact, that whole psalm, you make me lie down in green pastures, you lead me by still waters. That's written by someone who knows sheep, because when sheep are lying down in the pasture and the pasture's green, that means they've gotten all they wanted to eat. They know there's more whenever they want it, and they can just relax and lie down. A sheep lying in green pastures is a completely relaxed and satisfied sheep. A sheep by still waters knows she can get all she needs to drink. It's quite a beautiful psalm. There, I had to go to the Rev part.
There you go.
Preach to you a little bit. You know what we're going to do right now, and I'm going to see if Benjamin wants to come. I'm not sure where he went. We're going to go look for eggs. Okay?
Nice.
Sorry, I got my hand in the way because I got to go plug this phone in. And we also have chickens here on the farm. So we're going to go plug the phone in and look for eggs. I'm walking back down towards the chicken coop. Those of you who've been here, you know kind of the layout of the farm. We're walking down the road, down the driveway to the chicken coop.
Rachel still has questions about wool.
Frederick wants to know if we're going to see Megan's house today.
Frederick wants to know that?
Yeah.
Megan, are we going to see your house today?
As part of Lamb Day?
As part of Lamb Day?
Well, we could.
Hold on. I'm gonna have Megan go. I'm going to flip the camera, and I'm going to have Megan go stand by. Meanwhile, you can hear the little baby boy following us. He's like, "Did you leave me?" Yeah, we're right here, baby. Okay, so there's Megan, and there in the background, way up there, is Megan's house. Can you see it?
Right up on the ridge,
Up on the ridge by the tree,
Yep, we can see
past the
it.
tractor.
45-degree
Yeah.
roof.
So you,
Lots
those of
big
you,
front windows.
you want to say anything else about it, Megan?
It looks close to finished on the outside, but the inside is still subfloors and studs, and got a ways to go. But it's coming along.
So 2 years ago when we had Lamb Day and Apple Day out here, we played on big piles of dirt, and that's all that was there because they dug the foundation, but we were still waiting. Now there's actually, that's what the house is going to be right there. It's going to be different on the inside, but that's basically it on the outside. Okay, let's go look for eggs. Thanks for the question, by the way. So the chicken coop is down here, down this road. And so is the power cord. So that's a real advantage.
Probably.
We can also maybe switch, Amy's looking into switching to her phone
All right.
at the same time.
While we're walking over, Nancy is asking, what's a sheep's typical day like? Do they sleep in the barn and spend all day outside? What about in the winter?
So my sheep do stay in the barn. Part of the reason for that is there are coyotes on this island. And even though I have Jocko to watch out for things, the barn is an extra way of making sure that everything is, that the sheep are safe and everything is okay. Megan's bringing the power cord. Here we go, Megan. I'll get it. Why don't you all go look for eggs?
Okay.
So the typical day is they come out in the morning, they graze in the morning. They'll usually start at the lower part of the field and graze their way uphill. Then they'll sleep for a little while in the hot afternoon. Then they'll have an evening graze, and then they'll go into the barn for the night. That's also true in the winter. They come out in the snow and the rain. Whatever the weather is, they are outside animals, and it's good for them to be outside. They got their coats. Oh, here's a little boy. He's going to watch. Boy, he's accompanying us on everything on Lamb Day today.
He hung back because he was a little worried last time we moved on without him. So,
So we're looking for eggs here. Hold on, Megan. I've got the camera on you, so you can tell us what you found. My hens, rascals that they are, they lay eggs under the coop. So
Yeah, they have these 3 lovely nesting boxes inside. Perfect size. Great. They ignore them. So we have a chicken sitting right here.
let me see. See
Her
her?
there?
Can you see her? Here, take the camera. You can show her.
There she is. And look at what we've got right next to her. She's not sitting on them. She's sitting near them. So I'm going to pull these out. I kind of wish I'd brought my gloves in case she decides to peck my hand.
Sometimes they'll get protective of their eggs.
I'm going to do this.
So Megan's going to use a stick just so she doesn't get pecked.
Well, she doesn't seem too interested in pecking.
we've already gone through the pecking order for the day.
Apparently, yeah.
Nice, Megan. You
So
can
look,
see the
they're
eggs.
different colors. Well, 3 of them are tan, but that one is sort of a pale green.
It's like blue.
Yeah,
it's
kind of
almost
a
blue.
green blue. So now I want to see if the chicken is sitting on any eggs. I'm going to give her a little poke. Yeah, see there she's pecking. Ah, yep, she's hiding a few. She is pecking this stick. Fight. You sitting on any more? Nope, that was it.
Benjamin's rooting for the chicken.
Yeah.
No chick.
No chicks under there. A couple years back, several years back.
Like 10. I think he was 3.
Amy, tell the story.
Well, I think we'd had Lamb Day, but then there's Lamb Day when I'm still busy and all this stuff going on, or I couldn't make it. I don't remember what it was, and we wanted to take the pastor's privilege of having Lamb Day just for us. So I brought Benjamin out. I don't think he was more than 3. And
time out. I just want to point out that farm life can be dangerous. Megan just pinched her
Smashed
finger
my finger.
on the so little blessings for you
Yeah, thank you.
and your pinched finger. That's part of farm life too. Okay. There, Amy's lovely scrunchy face to. Okay, go ahead with your story while Megan
Okay, or Megan,
toughens
is there something else
through.
you can do to
She's
help
going to
you here?
go take care of her
Okay.
finger, I think. Are you, Megan?
Well, I was gonna see if I guess
Well, we
maybe I
can
am.
do that, or Benjamin and I can do that. I think you should.
Megan's going to go take care of her finger.
Yeah.
Amy's going to finish her story.
Yeah. So we were out here, and you were telling us how there weren't any chicks this year. We're going through exactly what you just did, and we're telling Benjamin all about it. And Benjamin, being 3.5, was much more adventurous than me than now, crawling around and saying hi to the chickens, and he insisted that he said there were chicks. He said, well, no, there are no chicks. Like
They're chickens. They're not
chickens.
chicks.
They're chickens. They're not chicks. And then lo and behold, he was so insistent. We noticed that there were like, I don't know,
Six.
There was a
6
whole
to 8 chicks.
There's a brood of little chicks under there they'd been sitting on them, and you didn't even know they'd been hatching a bunch of eggs that you didn't catch when they first were laid.
Those
So
that
you didn't
hen.
know. You were like, apparently we do.
Apparently
have
we
chicks
do
this
have
year.
chicks. That little hen had hidden under the coop, and she had hatched out a brood of chicks. So we did have chicks that year.
Yep. You never know. Benjamin, you got to go check. See,
I did.
Frederick asked, "What are we going to do with the eggs?"
I was
And
hoping lunch.
the answer is, yeah, we're going to eat these eggs. We'll probably send some home with Amy. These eggs are
Was
not
Megan,
going to turn into chicks.
was Megan gonna check someplace else for you? Just
She's
checked?
probably going to go inside
I want to go inside.
and into the coop
Is it
and
okay
check
if
in there.
Benjamin goes inside?
Oh, you can go in this way, but you're not going to find anything in there. I
Okay.
think Megan's going to go in through this door
Oh, hang on.
and look.
You want to go? You want to go
Yo,
in
what's poppin',
door
homie?
and just see what happens?
Okay, let's go see.
You can go. Oh yeah, there's the rooster.
Big dude.
I think that's
I
the
bet I
big
could
dude
take 'em.
rooster. This
Yeah.
is
There's
Heidi's
the rooster.
favorite. When she stayed on your farm, she was like, "Oh, it's so lovely." She stayed. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
And she was like, "It's so lovely here," and then she woke up in the morning, well, a little earlier than intended, with the rooster crowing.
Yeah. And
Quite a
there's the
bit.
sign that says home is where the flock is. So I'm thinking both of the chickens, and I'm thinking of you all as a flock, the congregation.
All right, so Benjamin should go in this way.
Yeah, I would say we might want to wait till Megan gets back
If they
because
attack me, should I fight back?
No,
no.
this is where they live. If they attack you, then you say, "Oh,
So-
I'm sorry for interrupting your lovely home.
Oh,
Let
that
me
is-
get out of the way."
That is true.
Yeah,
Good point.
I mean,
Good point. I'm going to ask real quick if anybody there, probably not, recognizes this door to the chicken coop. Because a long, long time ago at our church, we used to have 2 panels for Easter with chicken wire on them. And people would come forward at Easter time and put flowers on those 2 panels. And about 5 years after I came to this church, in about 2006, when we remodeled the sanctuary as part of our oh, I can't remember the name of that campaign now, and I'm embarrassed because it was such a good campaign. Foundation something.
Cornerstone?
New Cornerstones. Yes.
I wasn't even here.
The New Cornerstones campaign. And we cleaned out the closet, and one of the things they said we weren't going to use anymore were these panels. So I brought this one home and I made it into a door for my chicken coop, chicken yard. I love it, love it, love it. And I think of you all every time I come down here and remember that story. How many chickens and roosters do I have? I have one rooster. That's always a good idea. And I have right now 9 hens. I usually get about 6 to 7 eggs a day because I'm not into high production layers. I just let them lay as they're going to lay. And so we'll see what we get. It's been a while since we've checked under the coop, so we may get quite a few eggs this time. So I don't know where little lamb went. The boys are still eating their breakfast. For the person who asked what's a sheep's day like, let's go see what the ewes are doing.
No, we were just checking on the little lamb that had kind of ducked around. All the ewes and the lambs are down that way.
So you can see the ones out in the field, they're just grazing. The other ones have gone down the road to where the good grass is down here. They're on the outside just so they can stay closer to their babies. And they're down.
Looks like they're all starting to eat some grass.
Yeah, they all are. They all pretty early on, they all experiment with tasting grass, and it gets their tummies ready for when the grass will actually help them. We'll go down, since it is Lamb Day, let's go down and see the lambs again. And when Megan comes back with her repaired finger, we'll have more egg adventure. We'll see if we will.
How big is your farm, Catherine?
This farm is 12 acres. So that field right there where the ewes are grazing is about 3 acres. The buildings, the outbuildings as well as the house are about 3 acres. Then I have some more pasture up above the house, and then about 3 acres of woods. And some of you have been on a hike through those woods. We usually, when we can do this live, we go on a hike through the woods. Benjamin, you've been on that hike. You've led that hike, I believe. Because usually when kids grow up, the older ones can lead the younger ones. You can hear Mama grazing.
Mary asks, do the hens lay eggs all year long or mostly in the spring and summer?
So hens lay eggs mostly in the spring and summer. It's tied to both temperature and light. So producers who try to produce eggs all year round will turn lights on at night in their in their egg production areas, and the hens will continue to lay. I always give my hens a Sabbath. So usually somewhere around October, November, their production will drop off. They sometimes don't lay for quite a while in December and January, and then they'll start up again.
How many more ewes are we waiting on? At least one. I think I see that one out there.
We're waiting on 2 more ewes, and they look like they're a ways away. So we'll keep our eyes out, but it's gonna be a while. You see the little gang of lambs. They will play all morning while their mamas eat, and then the question is, do they sleep standing up? And they don't. They lie down to sleep. And do they nestle each other to be warm? I will tell you this: sheep usually stay quite warm. They have no problem in winter, in snow, in rain. That's what wool is for. They do really well. So they don't need to nestle each other to be warm. But I'll tell you another thing: mama and baby, you'll always find them all curled up together. So that's sweet. Here's a little boy jumping around.
And the wagging tail.
He's happy with life. Life is good. Usually you'll really see their tails wag when they're nursing. But you can see here's a little lamb trying out the grass, even though it's not going to give him anything that will support him right now. It will get his whole system ready to transition to grass. So he's following his instinct. He's imitating his mama. And lambs do learn from their moms. And one question that didn't get asked but does come up is, do sheep recognize each other? And the answer to that is absolutely. There you can see there's a mama feeding her baby. That's the mama with the big daughter and the little son. And you can see the lamb's tail shaking as she drinks. She's pretty happy. She's getting some breakfast, some late breakfast. I guess it's brunch by now, huh?
Oh, and there's a little starling on the sheep out there. I don't know if they can see that from there.
Yeah, there's a bird riding on the back of the sheep. They do that for a couple of reasons. Sometimes when the sheep put their heads in the feeder, little flakes of alfalfa will fall into their neck, and the birds like to ride on the sheep and eat it. But I don't think you can see that, but it is pretty adorable. That sheep is, that bird is riding on the back of the sheep. Can you see it, Steve? Oh, flew away.
And now on the back of another sheep, on the white sheep.
Oh, yeah.
May even still be hard to see.
It's probably still hard to see. Can you see that, Steve?
Yeah,
that bird on the back of the sheep.
We can make it out a little bit. Saw it when it took flight.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Megan's asking, why do lambs have tails but adults don't?
So if you look at my flock closely, you'll actually see some with tails. There's one with a tail right there. Lambs have tails because that's the way they're born. In the United States, most folks who raise sheep crop their tails. You put a little band on it, and it's like it hurts for a little bit, and then the tail falls off. Some people say that's a way to keep sheep healthier. You can keep an eye on them. It keeps flies from bothering them. If they have intestinal issues, their tails don't get all yucky. Other people disagree. So in the United Kingdom, they don't take their tails off. In fact, it has become illegal in the United Kingdom to dock the tails of sheep. My shearer is from Wales, and he has no problem shearing sheep with tails. So I tend to alternate every other year. It's one way I can keep track of how old the sheep are. So I'll crop their tails one year, and the next year I'll leave their tails on.
So these ones, is this a crop year?
This is a cropping the tail year. Probably do it later this weekend. You do it when they're young. It's one of those things that it'll hurt for 10 minutes or so, and then they'll be fine. But it's not an automatic thing that everybody does. In this country, though, if you look out at fields of sheep, their tails will be cropped. That's just kind of our way of doing things in this country. But that's a great question, Megan. Was that Megan Stout who asked that question? That was a great question, because it really does bring up decisions you have to make as a shepherd. I'm walking back to where I can plug it back in again. We're still waiting for Megan to emerge from the house.
mean, we could have Benjamin. I think
Yeah,
that
Benjamin
might
could
be a
look.
little bit,
You want to go check on her, Megan? I mean, Amy?
no,
Whoever
I'm
you
sure
are?
she can take care of it. I'm just thinking that from what I could see. Oh
It's
no.
fine.
He's his own.
Yes, but I want him.
No. You want to? You go check the for more eggs.
More eggs.
Okay.
I just my sense is that cut might be a little worse than we thought. After nothing horrible, but maybe not wanting to go back in.
Okay. So we'll follow Benjamin in and see what he finds. Benjamin, if you take that bag in right at your feet, that'll be something you can kneel on so you don't have to kneel in the mud.
Here's all right.
Oh, there's
Oh,
Hello.
go ahead. Yeah.
How are you? I'm Benjamin. Nice to meet you.
So now we're on an egg hunting adventure. And Benjamin, what you want to do is come all the way around to the back.
I gotcha.
And you're going to look under the coop. What you got to do is, let's see those bricks right there at the corner? Move those 2 bricks and look under there and see if you see any eggs. There you go.
Don't peck me in the butt.
They won't bother you unless
No, they're much more.
unless
worried
they're
about-
guarding their eggs. And they're not guarding their eggs right now.
You might need 2 hands, B.
See anything under there? Okay, I'm gonna look under here.
Okay, you can move another one. Oh.
Yep.
Give you permission.
Oh,
You
You
see
see
some?
more?
there's a thing.
Or what?
A net? A chicken?
Oh, I see some.
Okay.
It's a spider. I just like spiders. Spiders are weird.
All right, the spider's gone.
Okay, so Benjamin's dealing with seeing a spider. The chickens are dealing
With having 3 humans in there.
Benjamin looking at their eggs. Here they come. And the question is there any stigma on whether or not you decide to crop the tails? There really isn't. It's just more tradition in this country. And also the fact that
Drop the other brick.
yeah, go ahead. And also what the shearer is able to do.
Why don't I take this and you help Benjamin with
So
this
I'm
first,
gonna-
because
See,
Oh,
I'm not.
drop this one. Also.
All right, Catherine's gonna help Benjamin. These guys are.
So many spiders. There's another chicken.
Okay, and Benjamin, you can open the container that we're gonna put the eggs in.
oh, there's chicken right here. She's not gonna be happy with me taking her eggs.
Do we want to stick that in?
Yes. Here you go, Benjamin.
Oh no, one cracked a little bit.
Did it? Okay, that becomes an egg that's a little bit cracked becomes
Yeah, just
dog food. Yep.
doggo food. So we feed it to the doggos.
Yes, we do. Oh, yeah,
Is this a
Benjamin.
normal amount of eggs for a day?
It's been a couple days since we gathered eggs. So yes, this is a summer's abundance of eggs.
I wonder if
So
Megan
there's
had
your
eggs.
pester in the mud, getting eggs out of the coop.
There you go.
Okay, we're good.
You know what the egg said when he went to the party?
What did the egg say when he went to the party?
Omelet,
Oh,
A what?
omelet.
omelet. I'm
Omelet.
lit.
I'm lit.
Omelet.
There's party.
No, no, no.
All right.
Okay.
Let's pop it, homie.
Back we
Yeah.
go.
It's a lot of stuff going on here.
Here's
Very
a
exciting. Part of an egg,
part of an egg.
Part of an egg.
also known as shell. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Catch that bee. Yeah. Let's not have any escape. I think they've all been scared into the. Now they're all in here. You can't really see that. Oh, there you go. Benjamin, Megan says that you're bigger than the spiders. Megan, I have told him that so many times. But the spiders are scarier. Well, I guess to you. I think to them. Let's see. All right. No, I didn't lock in. Just got a chorus going on here. Yeah.
You can hear Mama and Baby.
Benjamin, how many are there?
That's Mama number 2. She gets pretty anxious when she's separated from her baby. She's saying,
I know.
would you come? And Baby's saying, no, I'm over here.
Either 10 or 11.
Nice.
No more than 12.
Oh.
Zoom in.
Oh, little.
Zoom in.
Okay. She's like, I'm ready to party.
Baby wants to play. Mama wants Baby to come. Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Here she comes. Yep, it's Lamb Day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and here's Megan. She's back.
Those lambs leave. They got hops. So someone was asking, what did the sheep do during the day? And the lambs play.
I think you're looking at this is what the sheep do during the day in varying amounts, but not always with an audience. I am always struck by how much they remind me of, well, especially my little dog Jake, but like of puppies. Like they prancing.
Yep. You get the rest of the egg. Yeah. And how's your finger? Let's have a medical report from Megan.
I think we've avoided amputation
Good.
with one band-aid and a little bacitracin. Yeah.
What? Oh, hello.
Just walk on up.
Yeah. Oh, I think we'll see how much further we can go. Let's see. Fiona and I sitting down to lunch now reminds me how we'd be setting up a picnic if they were there in person. Yep. I was just thinking that. I looked at these eggs and I'm like, yeah. I mean, we brought peanut butter and jelly, but
We might have omelets.
fresh eggs are. Emily, how many years has Lamb Day been happening?
I would say Lamb Day has been happening for about 15 years. I'm going to give a shout out to Rebecca Schmidt, who was here earlier. I'm not sure if she's still here, for all of the ways that she took Lamb Day from a casual, we'll do it sometime in the spring, and started scheduling it for families and giving people a heads up that it was coming and making it happen beautifully. So thank you. Thank you for that, Rebecca. And Lamb Day has been happening in abundance for probably about 12 years. We'll just watch these guys. Let's see. I'm trying to read that. Do the ewes and lambs always roam free, or just today? The first couple weeks of the lamb's lives, I keep them separated from the rest of the flock, and that means that this is their area. It also has better grass. There you see the baby trying to see if this is something to eat, and it's not. So I'm going to say, no, don't eat that. Because they've got to figure out what's good to eat and what's not. Well, this is what you come to Lamb Day for, right? To watch the lambs play. So we'll just take some time to do that. My battery is getting low. We've got about 10 minutes to go. How often do I rotate pasture? I'll just say not often enough in terms of good sheep management. This is but I'm gonna try to do it more often. There's an orange box over there that has some electric fencing that I'm going to use this season to see if I can rotate the crops. So now the lambs have come up into the driveway, so you're seeing lambs and cars. There we go. I'm just following them along here to be with you. I wish you all could be here, and maybe later in the summer we'll have some time. So there you can see Mama hanging out, and these are her twins, and then the other little boy. Just grazing among the cars. It's so good to have you all here. And I wish you could be here in person, but just take a minute to enjoy the lambs. Thank you all for dropping by. I want to show you one more thing before this is over, and my battery once again is getting low, so if I lose you, I'll be right back on. But this year I went out to my field, my yard actually, where Amy said if y'all were here we'd be getting ready to sit down to lunch, or maybe we'd be having a hike through the woods and then we'd sit down to lunch. But I mowed a labyrinth. So I took the lawnmower, made a pattern, and mowed the labyrinth. So I'll show it to you here. We'll take a look at the lambs again because it's Lamb Day. And they're on the other side of the fence. There they are. And then my labyrinth is right here. So I just mowed the path to it. So you walk down this path, and then here you have a labyrinth that you can walk. It's really nice because it walks you right under the canopy where the apple blossoms are, which reminds me that next fall we'll have another visit to the farm, which will be Apple Day. And we'll see where we are in mid-October and what we can do for Apple Day. And I'll try to maintain this labyrinth for that as well. And I don't know, maybe some of you will be out here walking it. I missed a question there. So if you had a question, I apologize. You could try typing it again. Or Steve, did you see a question? Was there a question or a comment?
Just lots of folks commenting how peaceful and wonderful this morning is to spend it together.
It is. It's pretty nice, isn't it? You can see Lefty keeping his eye on the lambs. And you can see there's a dog crate. You can see how a lamb would fit in a dog crate to come up here from Oregon. Although the dog crate I used was bigger. Just enjoy the lambs for just a little bit longer. I do love the sound of sheep grazing. Do I ever have a sheep or lambs escape? I'm going to take what you mean by that as, do they ever get off the property? And unfortunately, the answer is yes. It's a never-ending job to keep the fences secure, to keep the sheep in. Everything they say about the grass appearing to be greener on the other side is true for the way sheep think. And so my sheep, they do put pressure on the fences, especially in the late summer when their grazing is skimpy. Then they put pressure on the fences and they escape. Yep, they've escaped up at the top by where Megan's house is now. They've escaped out onto the road. Luckily, none of them has ever been hit by a car, but my next door neighbor who has cameras on her property has pictures of my sheep wandering through her field from about 5 years ago. They haven't escaped in the last 4 or 5 years. My fences have gotten better. And so that was a great question. You hear those birds? Thank you all for coming by. Any last questions, or maybe we'll say a blessing? I have a poem that I always like to recite. We'll see if I can remember it. It's William Blake, The Lamb. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Gave thee such a tender voice, making all the hills rejoice. Gave thee life and bid thee feed by the vale and o'er the mead. Gave thee clothing of delight, softest clothing woolly bright. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Little lamb, I'll tell thee. Little lamb, I'll tell thee. He is meek and he is mild. He became a little child. I a child and thou a lamb. We are called by his name. Little lamb, God bless thee. Little lamb, God bless thee. So I don't think I got it all quite right, but you could look it up. It's William Blake. It's The Lamb. It's a poem I often say to my flock. And so I'll say to all of you, God bless thee. And thanks for dropping by for Lamb Day. We're going to end in just a couple of minutes, which is good because my battery's very low. So if I suddenly disappear, Steve will take us out. In fact, Steve, any last comments? Are you there?
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Pastor Catherine and Pastor Amy and Megan and Benjamin, for bringing all of us from Seattle and Puget Sound area and even places farther out to be together on the farm for this Lamb Day. Really a great tradition, special moment, reminder of our kinship with all of creation. And, you know, this is why we say God delights in creation, because we can see that scampering of lambs and we get that same measure of delight.
Amen. And Steve, Pastor Steve, it's your first Lamb Day, so
It is.
so
Yeah.
welcome to this congregational tradition.
Thank you.
And blessings to you and blessings to all. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for dropping by and spending a little time with us.
All right.
Okay. And